It's time for the Social Show with Viwe Tywolwana.
Social Show?
Social Show.
A very warm welcome to another episode of the Social Show. My name is Viwe Tywolwana, and for the next 30 minutes, we're talking all things CSI, CSR, and shared value. It's been a minute. I've been away. I'm so happy to be back. I don't even know what you guys were listening to, honestly, without me, but I'm sure it was interesting and informative and all the things that we need. I'm out of breath. I was running up the stairs and I'm unfit, so I need to really work on my core. But I'll be doing that next week with the help of Baron and Reach for a Dream. We're going to be taking a short run around Midrand, so if you want to join us, please make sure that you do that. Of course, if you have any queries or questions for the show, you can go to brandlive.co.za and you can go on our social mediums and ask away. You know, I'm here for you. I'm here to listen. I'm here to understand, and I'm here to make sure that you are actually giving some sort of impact or trying to really make sure that our community, our country reaches its Vision 2030 goals. But before we get into the actual meat of the show, let's go into the news.
CSI update.
The first place winners in this year's SAB Foundation Social Innovation and Disability Empowerment Awards took home more than 1 million rand each for their innovations. The Social Innovation Awards are aimed at innovators, entrepreneurs and institutions with prototypes of early stage businesses that can solve a social problem. The first prize of 1.3 million was awarded to Hustlenomics, an affordable housing provider that gives low-income families who have informal backyard shacks the opportunity to build durable structures in their place using alternative building technology, including interlocking bricks made from recycled materials. The new structures are built at no cost to the owners. They are financed using an innovative shared home financial model where rental income generated from the completed structure is used to pay off development costs, which full ownership of the structure is then handed over to the landowner. In other news, Mimecast Limited has announced the launch of its global citizenship program that aims to support charitable organizations that are building resilience in communities. Global citizenship formalizes the company's corporate social responsibility efforts and encourages all Mimecast employees to actively participate in initiatives that provide security and empowerment opportunities in their surrounding populations and environments. The Mimecast Charitable Fund, which is a company fund launched in partnership with the Boston Foundation, supports non-profit organizations in the United States, in the United Kingdom, and in Australia. And lastly, in our news, the rhino sculpture designed by Land Rover Chief Design Officer Jerry McGovern has helped Tusk raise over 11.5 million rand in aid of endangered rhinos. 21 unique 1.2 long rhino sculptures were created in honor of the Tusk Rhino Trail, the London-based public art installation, which concluded on World Rhino Day on the 22nd of September. The auction took place on the eve of the first illegal wildlife trade conference, which will be hosted by the UK government. The conference will bring together global leaders to help eradicate illegal wildlife trade and better protect the world's most iconic species from the threat of extinction. Wow. Okay, that's the end of our news. We'll be back after this.
All South African students want is a fair shot. Our government has acknowledged that households earning under 600,000 per annum need assistance in providing access to education for their children. This accounts for about 94% of households in South Africa. The funds available only cover about 17% of students eligible for assistance. Phoenix, powered by Standard Bank, is there for the rest. To Phoenix, you are more than just your grades and household income. Your story is what sets you apart. This is how our tailor-made solution works. Students looking to fund their education are able to motivate for funding on their own terms. They create a profile and send us a fee statement. Funders looking to help out find a student they connect with on our platform and pay the whole or a portion of the selected student's fees. Funders can also pay into the Phoenix Pool Fund. The Phoenix Pool Fund is allocated in accordance with the BBEE socio-economic development criteria, which means businesses can pay students fees and improve their scorecard at the same time. We ensure that the students selected are eligible to receive funds and that their fees are still outstanding. Standard Bank support gives the funder peace of mind that funds will be managed responsibly. Because fees are paid directly to universities, the funder can rest assured that their money will only be used for its intended purpose. This support means that Phoenix doesn't charge the high administrative fees attached to similar donation platforms. Phoenix is a PPO, so all funds paid through the system are tax deductible. Best estimates are that in 2017, 35 billion rands worth of fees will be owed by families who can't afford to pay them. Go to phoenix.org and get involved.
So the NDP 2030 vision of creating 11 million jobs requires that 90% of those jobs should come from the small business sector. The township economy actually is one of these areas that these kind of businesses exist. However, research done by the NPC last year across 7 provinces found that the biggest obstacles in township economic development were the lack of productive activity, a limited understanding of the capability of a township entrepreneur, limited demonstration of value-add government programs, not considering particular needs, and a lack of coherence. And to share more light on this and a little bit more, we are speaking to Bulelani Balabala, who's a young entrepreneur and speaker. Bulelani is the founder of Township Entrepreneurs Alliance, which is an initiative aimed at developing township entrepreneurs and young leaders. The initiative has impacted over 4,500 young people, and through the initiative, they've been able to teach the youth about entrepreneurship, presentation skills, and leadership. Thank you so much for joining us, and good morning.
Thank you so much. I'm excited to be here. It's actually my first time.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. I hope you're gonna come more often.
It was great. Yeah,
thank you.
I mean, as long as you guys will have me, I'll definitely come.
110%. Let's see how this interview goes. Then also. So he'll be hosting the TEA, which is the 4th annual Township Business Innovation Summit, under the theme entrepreneurship in the 4th Industrial Revolution. We'll talk about the summit a little bit later, but I think we'll just dive into the interview. I think it would be quite interesting to start off with a brief understanding from your perspective about where the township economy sort of currently stands. You hear about it, you read about it, but you barely hear it from people who are operating in the space or trying to help aid the space. So from your experience, from your perspective, what is and where are we as from a township perspective?
So I just think from a township economy perspective, we're at a space where you're seeing the growth of a lot of amazing young entrepreneurs, right? And even older entrepreneurs that have exhibited the skills really to start a business, skills really in product development and service development, right? But I think the problem still lies within the bigger scaling that product up, and retail space, access to real market. We are sitting right now with large corporates which are mandated by government to run enterprise development programs, and some of them are then supposed to part ways with a percentage of whatever profits they make because of a certain amount that they make, right? But one of the things that I've noticed with that is these programs are really done as tick box exercises. Then you're finding institutions or incubators that are supposed to be incubating these individuals as being a frustrated element of the whole entire chain. My question has always been this: when you look at the Gauteng province framework, right, economic development framework, one of the key points that they list there, right, so it's a nice 46 pager, right? But one of the key things that they speak about there is building hubs of economic development. My first question then is, where are these hubs of economic development? Which township do I find a hub of economic development? If the focus is really capacitating the disadvantaged, why must I climb onto 3-4 taxis to get to a Sandton area? A Sandton area has got about 6 to even 20 of these, right? Coming from Alexander or Tembisa. So you then find that there is a township economy, but the people that are living within this township economy, that are starting businesses in this township economy, are not full participants of this township economy. I mean, there's over 200 billion that transact, right, in this economy. But how many of the people that live, breathe, and grew up in this economy participate in this economy? But from a brand perspective, you see large organizations, and I found it so interesting and cool. You see large organizations who have trademarked words like Nixmapa, who have trademarked words that we grew up living. You open storyboards or you watch ads, right, that are created from storyboards with a proudly South African stories. Who could have told these European agencies that this is how we live, apart from them researching, right? But the actual custodians of this market are not benefiting as fully as they're supposed to. So my proposition for this is really, I think, number one, most importantly, having a bottom-up and top-down approach. So this is my thinking, right? Large organizations should be mandated to procure as a standard, regardless, 40%, 50% of whatever they're consuming from small enterprises. But now, I think then a certain percentage of whatever they're procuring, they needs to then broken down to commoditized items and ordinary items. So ordinary items and services for me would be when you give a small black or small female-owned, small youth-owned, whatever corporation a job to clean, right? But give them strategic jobs as well. What you then find is you then find companies that are listed on the JSE transacting amongst themselves. So when companies on the JSE transact among themselves, then what happens to the guys at the bottom? Because the guys at the bottom are then caught in what is called a rat race, right? It's a race to the bottom, and it's a competition around price. And anyone knows that if you build your business, if you build a brand and you center the whole entire brand around cost, it's going to fall to the ground. Yeah,
no, definitely. Wow. In fact, I think that sort of shows us the vision of TEA then. If you just give us an idea as to how do you guys define impact and how do you define difference? Because you do see that people have, not people, I suppose you have these, I think it's an amazing idea, amazing solutions, but then how do we actually define that in from an impactful perspective? Do you feel like you're being heard when you say these things, to corporates?
Well, I think I'm being heard, right? Because I think the platforms I've been speaking on, but there has been slow movement to it. And I really think, to the corporates that are really serious about impact, and I really think, going back to your question of impact, right? I think that impact for me in the township economy scale, right, is when a 16-year-old who's eager with passion, with life, right, is able to conjure up or think up an idea, and we have systems in place that are able to take this idea from ideation all the way down to product. But even when they have product, we're able to give them market access. So it is not all government agencies or corporate agencies that are entirely ineffective, right? I have seen some that have actually done incredible work. But if you have one or two individuals in a department that consists of 100 individuals that are supposed to be working at full capacity, if these two individuals are opening doors for a few entrepreneurs, but what about the many entrepreneurs that are out there? We have all known, we heard, we see it in the news each and every day, the high percentages of young people that are unemployed, right? And unfortunately, some of them would need to then consider entrepreneurship as a possible career choice. The reason why I say unfortunately is that we already know that entrepreneurship is not pleasurable. So entrepreneurship is one of the hardest things. But there's nothing then as hard as going into entrepreneurship, which is already hard, but you already don't have the infrastructure support of the base, the base infrastructure support that you're supposed to be getting from corporate and also from government. We are not saying make it easy for entrepreneurs. I always say that if an entrepreneur is waiting funding to start, then you're not an entrepreneur, right? But at the very same time, if this entrepreneur has taken the courage to start, then let us aid them in making sure that this thing grows and it moves to a whole new level. Because the truth at the end of the day, the liberties that we see today, the Sanlums that we see today, came up as a result of trial and error. 110%. They were not the perfect organizations we see today. They've made many errors, but in those errors, it was the lenience of the clients, the suppliers, and the people that they had around them.
110%. Okay, so there's a new sort of robust sector that is kind of growing within entrepreneurship, which is social entrepreneurship, right? Yes. And I wonder then, in your perspective again, what do you think that sort of does in alliance with the township economy? Do you think the two are the same? Do you think the two are meant to have some sort of affiliation? Do you think being that it's a township economy, it should be doing good. It should be looking at societal needs and responding. Or do you think people have the gut to, or they should just be making their money, making their product, making sure the economy grows? How do you think those two work together?
So I think for me, when you look at the broader sense, right, or the depth of South Africa, you look at, so we are a country which is rich in color, rich in flavor, rich in flair. We're rich in Ubuntu, right? But when I was growing up, Ubuntu was better defined, not in words, but in actions. You would kind of define it as do things for people, don't expect anything in return.
Yeah.
People mess you up, just keep on walking, right? So when you then start to look at social entrepreneurship, I think the social furthers the narrative of South Africa and the country. That is who we are, right? And then the entrepreneurship really speaks to, it's okay to get paid from doing good.
Yeah.
And I think that's the biggest thing, right? Understanding that it's okay to be paid for doing good. We have seen, I think in growing up, I've seen many organizations, many NPOs that were started in the township, whether it was old age homes or whatever, right? Really suffering out through all the years. But you're seeing other NGOs that are started in different places by different individuals who are either CEOs or whatevers of different organizations, really running profitable NGOs.
100%.
Where CEOs in those NGOs are getting paid 2 million, 3 million. But I think one of the key things really is the reason why for me social entrepreneurship then becomes important. And number one, it re-inculcates Ubuntu. But number two, really what it does is that it solves immediate problems. But the thing at the end of the day is every product really solves a problem.
Yeah.
Every product really solves a problem. I think in the midst of us trying to grow the element of social entrepreneurship, let us not make it so stringent that we alienate individuals that have got products
100%.
that will really compete and challenge the
100%.
world.
100%.
Because you see, today we're sitting with your Microsoft that have got campaigns running in Kenya.
Yeah.
So there had to be a Microsoft that would grow and become a fortified city so that they would get the funds to then run programs in Kenya, vice versa.
100%. Let's walk into the TA summit
Sure.
that's coming up. What is it, that kind of information that people are going to be looking forward to? Speakers, what kind of energy are you bringing?
No, man. So this is the 4th annual. We're excited about this one. We did, the one that we did last year was 980 entrepreneurs, 45 exhibitors, 10 corporate exhibitors. We hosted the Minister, Jeff Hadebe. We hosted amazing partners, Proudly Say, Tokosan, and whoever, right?
Perfect.
So what we're looking forward to this year is it's the first time in the 3 years or 4 years rather that we have decided to do it over 2 days. And the reason for that is to afford entrepreneurs that know nothing about tea the opportunity to attend Friday. So Friday is master classes. So master classes on social media, how to use social media as a small business owner, compliance, legal and corporate. So not corporate rather, but copyright, trademarks, and really just focusing on different elements, whether it's marketing and sales and all that stuff. So you're really being capacitated on Friday. It's a capacity building session, right? And Saturday is really our main event. So that's where we'll be hosting some government officials, corporate officials, and just really having a robust conversation that would lead to amazing solutions, right? And also I think the most important thing, one of the things that I love that I've seen happen with tea, right, is how entrepreneurs have been able to then now link themselves up as entrepreneurs, as a partner or butter deals to work together, and also pick out certain speakers and certain organizations that are there as either their clients or at the end of the day as people that would work with them as an enabler to help their businesses grow and move to the next level.
Okay, and I see that you really you have such a great knack in, or rather you are into motivational speaking, and I thought it was quite interesting because I do think that it's very much linked to being an entrepreneur. You have to be your own motivator, and you have to make sure that you've got the right idea all the time in your head, not to sort of falter. How impactful, again, I'm using this word because I think it's the biggest word right now in CSI. How impactful do you think it is to not only have the information, to have the seminars, to have all of these things, but to also have a motivational work as part of an entrepreneurship package in general? So
here's the thing, right? To be an entrepreneur, you have to be crazy. You have to be crazy to want to live, to live rather a comfortable life, or to when you have many other easier options, and those options are either to go not necessarily saying downplaying jobs, right? But you could go and work anywhere. You could literally, and also it's similar to business, you could literally just go start a small anyana business, right?
100%.
So I look at entrepreneurship as people that are highly driven, people that are just creating products, people that have a fixation to solving products, and they want to grow this thing and scale it and move it to a whole. You have to be crazy.
Yeah.
And in the midst of all of that, there's rejection that you are met with each and every day. There's depression that you are met with each and every day. You jump out, you're getting SMSs from SARS, you owe them money, you owe whoever money, sometimes you're living from hand to mouth. I mean, I know that entrepreneurial journey. So I've been an entrepreneur now 14 years,
Yes.
12 years in my current business. I mean, for the first 6 years, I was making 180 to 380 Rand per month on a 2,000, 3,000 Rand deficit. The first day I opened my doors on my internet cafe, I made 5 Rand. So at the end of the day, entrepreneurship, so motivation then is important, but I think most importantly, self-motivation. You then need to be able to motivate yourself. So I understand, I love listening to other people's stories, but you also then need to be reminded of the fact that you have a story. And I think the easiest
100%.
way to always keep yourself inspired each and every day and realign to your vision and your focus is your why. But then someone questions, what if your why is wrong? Then you go to the second step, and your second step is really regrouping and always re-strategizing. And that re-strategizing happens at night when you're about to hit your head on the pillow and you think to yourself, what could I have done differently today? And what am I going to do different tomorrow? Then you wake up tomorrow, you put that bounce in that step, and you go out there and you do what you got to do.
I think I just scored myself motivational speaking for free. You just inspired me. But just talk a little bit about tea. Where can people get? Is it tickets? Is there a place where people can go to find out a little bit more information?
So tea is free. Come as you are. All you need to do is just RSVP. Believe me, there are many events that happen in the country that are not on this caliber that charge.
Yeah,
we are on a very high caliber, if I can say so myself. I know the quality of people that are coming, that I'm bringing there, and this is really just for me, it's a leg up event more than anything to give entrepreneurs that can't access this opportunity an opportunity to access them. So come to tea. I mean, you can go on our website. It's www.joinus4tea. So all of those are words. Join us for tea, or you could go out to our Twitter account and you could find out more information there. So you can RSVP, come as you are, and invite as many entrepreneurs as you possibly can, and corporates that want to still partner and join in, hit us up. We
100%.
need you.
Definitely think the corporates listening should actually just look up Join Us for Tea, or Join Them for Tea. Is it going to be tea?
Yeah.
Oh, it's even better. The Summit will take place on the 16th and the 17th of November at Hospital View in Tembisa. I like that it's in Tembisa. And the layout of the event will include a space for 80 exhibitors, and the event itself looks to attract at least 1,200 entrepreneurs in the 2-day extravaganza. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
It's been amazing. I'm inspired. I'm thinking of starting a business today. And I really hope that if you are in the township space and you want to start something, not even if you're just an entrepreneur sitting at home, really having some sort of need to start something, create something, innovate something, you go to tea. It definitely it's going to be worth your while. Thank you again.
Thank you.
Thank you. We're gonna have a short break and we'll be back after this.
What? What? What?
What?
What? What?
What?
What?
Hey Sam, how's it going?
John, how funny. I was just telling my sister how inspiring it is to see you out and about. Good for you, man.
What?
People with disabilities don't want to be put on a pedestal. They are just like you and me and should be treated no differently. The disabled community is the 3rd largest market segment in the United States, surpassing Hispanics, African Americans, and Asian Americans. But they are still searching for equality. Special treatment is not needed and is condescending.
Share your what moments. Give your voice. Seek change. For more information about sharing your what moment, visit theawarenesscampaign.com.
What?
You want him to be my place? Yeah. All right. That was good.
Yeah, I know.
Since 2012, 14.2 million actions by global citizens have helped generate commitments and policy announcements from leaders valued at over $37.9 billion. These commitments are set to affect the lives of more than 2.25 billion people, with interventions that range from vaccinating a child to providing 1 year of education. These things will ultimately help the individuals to uplift themselves out of poverty. Global citizens' actions are helping to end extreme poverty by 2030 as a part of the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals. Global Citizen works across 17 global goals, including food and nutrition, water and sanitation goals, and women and environment, as well as health and finance and innovation. And you can find out more on the website. Of course, I know many South Africans have tweeted, have tried to win their free tickets to the Global Citizen concert that's going to be happening in T-minus 2 months, guys. T-minus 2 months. In fact, once we reach November, it's going to be just a few more days till we all see all these amazing artists, who from Wizkid to Beyonce to Chris Martin to Shoma Josie to Asha to Casper Nyovest. So I'm pretty sure that everybody is excited. But what's even more exciting for us as the Social Show is exactly the kind of impact and the action that will be taken by the money raised in South Africa in ode and in reverence to Mandela's centenary, Nelson Mandela's centenary, our father, the father of the nation. So we're going to play a short reminder of this concert, and I hope you are buying. If you're not buying, I hope you are tweeting, and if you aren't tweeting, I hope you are praying that the gods that be give you the tickets.
The Global Citizen Festival is coming to Johannesburg, South Africa, bringing together musicians, world leaders, and global citizens to create positive change and eradicate extreme poverty. You can get free tickets, but you must earn your way in by taking action. Step 1. Visit Global Citizen or download the Global Citizen app and sign up to be a global citizen. Step 2. Learn about the world's biggest challenges and what you can do to help solve them. Step 3. Start taking action. You'll be asked to send tweets, sign petitions, make phone calls. Follow Global Citizen on Facebook and Twitter for more ways to take action. Each action you take earns you points and encourages businesses, non-profits, and politicians to do their part in solving some of the world's greatest challenges. Step 4. Get rewarded. Once you earn enough points, you will be entered into a draw. If you win, you will receive 2 tickets to the festival and have the satisfaction that you are helping change the world. But if you don't get a ticket the first time, don't worry. You can take action again for a chance to win free tickets. Visit Global Citizen or download the Global Citizen app now and earn points so you don't miss this one-of-a-kind event.
I need not say it again. I need not say it over and over. But this concert is going to be bananas, crazy, amazing, because we're all going to be dancing and having fun for a good cause. So I really hope that you are reignited in your spirit to attend, and you really, really are going to be part of the generation that changes and really seeks to make sure that 2030 is a real thing. Otherwise, it's been a great show. It's a great Wednesday. If I'm not your WCW, I don't know what you're doing with your life. I'm kidding, but it's been a great conversation. We had Bulelani Balabala, who is the founder of T, which is a township entrepreneurship extravaganza that's going to be happening on the 16th and the 17th of November. And I think it's definitely something to look out for. And it's free. It's free. What do you mean? Hopefully we'll be there to cover it with Bulelani and just make sure that we are playing our part to invigorate and help support our township innovators and creatives. That concludes our show for today. It's been amazing. See you again, same time, same place, tomorrow. Only on brandlive.co.za.
Live from 27 boxes in the heart of Melville, this is brandlive.co.za.